Birthright citizenship and the 14th Amendment has always been about foundational Black Americans. Case closed, no debate.
Birthright citizenship exists because of me, African Americans. Apparently, there's some confusion about birthright citizenship. So much confusion that President Trump has had to chime in. And so I just want to be honest. Birthright citizenship exists because of me, African Americans, descendants of former slaves. That's what it was for. It guaranteed African Americans citizenship in a country that had never acknowledged them as citizens or even more than 3/5 of a person. That's what it was for. It was not designed for an immigrant to hop over the fence and have a baby and, hey, that baby gets American citizenship. Wrong. It wasn't designed for rich immigrants to come over here and buy their citizenship by having babies.
The United States Supreme Court ruled to uphold the interpretation of birthright citizenship as it stands. The current interpretation says that anyone born on the United States soil, regardless of their parents' status, is a citizen. Now, let me tell you why Black Americans have a stake in this conversation. As foundational Black Americans indigenous to this soil, we understand that the interpretation of the 14th Amendment was not written as an incentive for immigration. It was written for the descendants of enslaved Black Americans, whose humanity had to be written into law to shore up our rights here as indigenous peoples of the land. What's happened over time is that a protection for us has been reinterpreted as a loophole, one that has been used as an immigration incentive by foreign nationals, by corporations. It's actually a business model. There's literally whole businesses that sell citizenship. Come have your baby over here, become a dual citizen. That exposed a few things for us as we looked through this. There are literal companies that will charge a foreign national tens of thousands of dollars to come here and have a baby on U.S. soil. So now that child becomes an American citizen. Well, that highlighted this is a national security risk, and this ruling leaves that intact. When countries, some of which are not our allies, can come here and pay to birth citizens on our soil, it's not really an immigration conversation anymore. It is a national security one. Again, this ruling leaves that intact. And we were hoping that this push would narrow that. Today it didn't. And I'm not going to pretend it's not a somewhat disappointing, but I played Division I basketball and I captained teams at really high levels. I've also been an HR executive and led global teams. And I learned early not to measure a team by any loss. You measure by what you learn. Any setback is actually where we want our focus to be, because that shows us a lot. That gives us visibility to the actual issues. This showed us how many people have benefited from a protection that was never really meant for them. It also showed us how much work still remains on our path to protected class status. And it reminded us why delineation is not optional. It's absolutely necessary and healthy. And it also showed us the security risks that we face as a nation when we allow misinterpretation of the 14th Amendment. And here's what we'll continue to hold on to as a lineage. This ruling doesn't touch temporary protected status rollbacks. Haiti and Syria already in motion. It doesn't stop this nation looking at our immigration policies with a much more forensic lens. The larger accountability conversation is not over because of today. These are all steps in the right direction. And the most important movement, the one that cannot be overruled, is the movement happening within us as a lineage. The awareness, the waking up, the refusal to be redefined yet again. This is ancestral memory for us. This lineage has been here before. We've taken hits before, and we're still here. We don't flee, we don't run, we fight. Our civic engagement is unmatched. So this isn't the end of anything. This is actually the beginning. Lineage intact, eyes wide open, and moving forward with intention. So keep going and stay focused. Be honest, not offended.
Credits of the clips used in this video belongs to the original creators. I just want Black Americans to understand that we're not a different people. We are the same group of people. I see all the time online, people are constantly reminding me that I'm Haitian. Absolutely, I got Haiti tatted on my neck. I love that I'm Haitian, but I also want to remind you that I'm no different from you. They're doing the same thing to you that they're doing to me. We are no different. In the moment that we start acting as if there's a separation between us, that's where you let the perpetrators do exactly what they came here to do, destruct and divide us so that they can conquer us again.
Justice ruling 6-3 on not ending birthright citizenship, but in the back of my head, I know in this climate that that's a win, but in the back of my head, I just can't help but to think that's the bare minimum. Not changing the 14th Amendment at this point is just the bare minimum. And we have to cheer about it because it's the only win that we have right now. Just for the sake of knowledge in the history books for the justices that sit on the Supreme Court right now, let's go over the 3 Supreme Court justices that voted against birthright citizenship in the United States. Clarence Thomas, a Black man with African-American lineage, voting against the 14th Amendment for the same people that historically went to bat against the 13th Amendment and probably want you to be 3/5 of a man. But there's a character in a show called The Boondocks that portrays you perfectly. Also in the movie named Django, but on to the Neil Gorsuch, a descendant of English settlers that came over here and planted their family seed in Native American soil over the graveyard of the victims of a genocide. Samuel Alito, this one is actually hilarious. Your family is full of immigrants. Your grandparents actually sailed over here from Italy on a boat, seeking a better life. As a matter of fact, your grandmother had your father in Italy, Salvador, and floated on a boat with their infant son seeking a better life for your family. And you voted against the 14th Amendment for birthright citizenship. This is the reason that you're a citizen. Your father was an immigrant. And you're voting against birthright citizenship. This doesn't even make sense. What is it that you people want? If you don't want them to be a citizen at birth, do you want a baby to take a test for their citizenship? What is it that you people want? Why is it that you want to change the Constitution of the United States on the 250th birthday of a country that was built by immigrants in slavery? Why?
Something very serious is happening to Haitian immigrants in America right now. The debate is no longer just about immigration politics. ICE enforcement has intensified, temporary protected status of Haiti has ended, and the first major flight following the end of TPS has already arrived in Haiti with more than 160 people. Now, the question becomes, did they finally get it? Let's get to it.
But they try to find loopholes in it the same way they try to find loopholes in the civil rights era, the same way they try to find loopholes in our rallies, our protests, and our marches, the same way they're trying to find loopholes right now with reparations. Everything that immigrants do has to be funneled through what Black Americans have created. Everything from the United States of America to a reparations paycheck. Birthright citizenship is for foundational Black Americans. Immigrants want to get in on it. Civil rights were for foundational Black Americans. Immigrants want to get in on it. Reparations is for foundational Black Americans. Immigrants want to get in on it. There's this whole system that has been created where you take things that Black Americans have created and then you try to hand it off to all these other groups. And when foundational Black Americans say, hail to the gnaw, and we snatch it back because we delineate, everybody cries foul. Well, your ass gonna be shedding some tethered tears because we don't give a damn. This is our house. This is our time, and what we say goes. And if we shut you down in the process, you just gonna be shut down and you gotta live with it. If you name everything that Black Americans have done, if you name everything Black Americans have created, it all goes back to the excellence of our country, but don't nobody ever want to put the spotlight on that. That's fine, because we gonna put the spotlight on it, and everybody knows our spotlight shines brightest amongst everybody's. And all we doing, family, is that we putting a twist on it. Each brother and sister, king, queen, goddess, and God, and we doing it our way. They cannot see us, not at all. They can try.
But there's a difference between giving citizenship to the children of slaves, the children of those subject to the Middle Passage, the children of sharecroppers, and the children of those who were once considered property, and giving citizenship to the children of people who cross the border illegally, stay in taxpayer-funded luxury hotels. There's a big difference. My great-great-grandfather was born on a plantation, Rosedown Plantation in Louisiana. He had to join the Union Color Guard to gain his freedom.
Birthright citizenship is like the hottest topic on the planet right now. And just like you heard him say, Black Americans have had it really, really hard when it comes to being free or even being a citizen, because that's two completely different things. Of course, in the 1800s, 1700s, there were free Black people, but you were not a citizen. That is completely different. So Black people didn't technically become citizens until the Emancipation Proclamation. That's when we became citizens. But of course, you could earn your freedom by escaping the Union lines back then. You could join the color guards like his grandfather did. And of course, you were treated maybe a little bit better, but you could still be thrown right back into slavery. Like, it didn't matter. You get what I mean? We didn't officially become free and become a citizen of the United States until the Emancipation Proclamation. Okay, so this birthright citizenship thing is serious to a lot of Black Americans, because we know the importance, because we know where it came from, because we know why we're here. We know how it happened. You get what I mean? We know what we fought for. We know that our ancestors died and put their lives on the line for me to be standing right here, right now.
I don't see a lot of creators talking about this, but the Supreme Court is scheduled to hear oral argument regarding President Trump's challenge to birthright citizenship on April 1st, 2026. The case that President Trump is challenging focuses on whether an executive order can end automatic citizenship for children born in the U.S. to undocumented or temporary status. That could be a big win for Black Americans because, as we all know, Black Americans are the descendants of slaves, which the 14th Amendment birthright citizenship was originally for. So basically, because the United States is having an immigration issue, if this order that Trump is challenging gets passed, Black Americans in America will have a greater chance now of getting assistance, getting a job, and so much more. Like, you guys need to wake up and realize what's going on right now.
For years, thousands of Haitians were able to live and work in the United States under temporarily protected status, but TPS is temporary. In July, the government formally ended Haiti's TPS designation, and the employment authorization connected to that status became invalid. Then came the enforcement. Reports from community with large Haitian population described ICE check-ins, arrests, and electronic monitoring. Some Haitians were reportedly arrested and then released with anchored monitors, and now deportation flights are happening. And on August 20th, a U.S. deportation flight carrying more than 160 people landed in Cap Haitien, and the flight did not land in Port-au-Prince because of the severe security situation there. And this is where the story becomes complicated. The US government says immigration enforcement must be carried out under the law, but critics point to Haiti's continuing violence, displacement, and humanitarian crisis. So people on both sides of this debate are asking difficult questions. Now, which brings us to Black Americans. The argument about citizenship is much bigger than Haitians. Birthright citizenship is connected by the 14th Amendment and America's constitutional history. Black Americans have lived through generations of battles over citizenship and equal rights. So when people discuss who belongs in America and what citizenship means, Black Americans naturally have a historical perspective that cannot simply be ignored. But this does not mean Black Americans and Haitian immigrants should be enemies. They are different communities with different American experiences. And here is the reality check. When immigration policy changes, political arguments suddenly become personal. People begin to ask, will ICE come to my neighborhood? Could my family be separated? What happens if my legal protection expires? Where will I go if I'm ordered to leave? Those questions are now becoming reality for some Haitian families, and that is why everyone should understand their immigration status before a policy change forces them to. Also, let's not pretend every Haitian immigrant is the same. Some have lived in America for years, Some have American-born children, some have businesses, some have work, some work in healthcare, manufacturing, and others industries. And some people facing removal have criminal records. And those are different circumstances. The responsible conversation has to recognize all of them. We can debate enforcement without demonizing an entire nationality, and we can discuss humanitarian concerns without pretending immigration law does not exist. So, did they finally get it? Maybe the bigger lesson is this: citizenship and temporary immigration status are not the same thing. For Black Americans, citizenship represents a hand-fought history of belonging and equal rights. For Haitian immigrants under TPS, life in America may feel permanent, but their legal protection may not be. TPS can end, ICE enforcement can increase, and deportation flight can begin. That is why understanding citizenship, immigration status, and the law matters. Because right now, for many Haitian immigrants, this isn't a political headline. It is their reality. What do you guys think? Did they finally get it? Share your thoughts in the comment section, and kindly remember to keep it respectful. If you want breakdowns like this, hit the subscribe button and join our family. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.